Hey girl, are your healthy habits all over the place or non-existent? Do you wish you could find true food freedom, move your body for joy, and really just talk a little nicer to yourself? If you have tried to habit hack your health, but the strategies you've tried just haven't worked for you in your busy lifestyle, then this podcast is for you. Hey, I'm Emily Nichols, habit and fitness coach, behavior change specialist, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I'm here to tell you there is an easier way than what we've been taught about our health and our habits. How do I know? Well, because I've transformed my own life through habit hacking, and now my family gets the best of me, and I now help my clients do the same. I'm now going to teach you how to create healthy habits in less time, guilt-free for all seasons of your life. It's not your fault your habits haven't worked, my friend. We just have to do them differently. So, are you ready to feel empowered and transform your habits and life? Then let's do this. You're listening to episode 232 of Habit Hack Your Health. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. Okay, this episode has been a long time coming, probably about a year in the making, to tell you the truth. And today might even be controversial, but I think I need to address it. So many of you have found me and the show through the Whole30. And I am so incredibly grateful to Melissa Urban, the Whole30 team, and my fellow Whole30 coaches who I have met along the way. But as of today, I am no longer a Whole30 certified coach. So today I'm going to talk about why I'm no longer a coach and 5 things that the Whole30 has taught me and what I think of it today. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's talk about it. So if you're just joining this story, maybe you haven't listened to like super early episodes of the show when the show used to be called something completely different, right? This has been a journey, my friends. This has been a journey. And thank you for all of you who have been with me the past 4 years. But my Whole30 story starts back in 2015. If you're like, girl, I don't even know what the Whole30 is. Okay. Number 1, Google it while you're listening. But the Whole30 is a 30-day protocol to help you understand your habits and relationship around food. What agrees with your body physically, mentally, and what doesn't. So you eliminate certain foods for 30 days, then you systematically reintroduce them through a reintroduction process and use that data in your own food freedom. So that's the Whole30 in a nutshell. But my story starts back in 2015. I was climbing the corporate ladder. I was driving around for my nonprofit job, eating cookies in my car all day long, hiding them under my seat in shame, dealing with stress, with over-consuming wine and margaritas, excessive online shopping. And my husband at the time was working all different kinds of shifts. He was working night shift, day shift, second shift, all around the place. And he used to run and he couldn't run anymore. He gained like over 50 pounds. And we were at a point in our lives where we're like, we are not setting the best example for our boys, right? They were real little then. They're 15 and 12 now. And my brother-in-law and his wife had did something called the Whole30. And my husband's like, I want to give this a try. And I was like, okay, like give up wine and cookies for 30 days? No, thank you. And I was really hesitant because I dealt with food, with emotions with food. And I was the queen of starting and stopping some type of diet program on a Monday, except I never really had accountability. I never really told anybody what I was doing. So if I failed, which in most cases I did because I wasn't going about it systematically, how I teach, my habit hacking system now. But this was something different because my husband was like, we need to change. We are not thriving and we're not setting the best example for our boys. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And just like the book, it starts with food. Like if you've never done the Whole30, or if you had, you probably have read that book. It really did start with food for me. I am an emotional eater. And going through the Whole30 with my husband, this was actually the first time I actually stuck to something for longer than a week. And it was empowering. I lost weight which was in all truth my initial goal, but I gained so much more insights that has led me to what I do today as a behavior change specialist and fitness coach and habit coach, and everything I base my food freedom philosophies on now. It's not based on the Whole30, but the Whole30 taught me some of this, which I'll get into that in a moment. But it was so empowering to actually stick to something for 30 days, and it snowballed from there. Like, at the same time I was doing like Beachbody workouts, when I do something, I kind of go all out. Like, I did Insanity Max 30 by Shaun T, which is like the hardest program ever. And I love it so much. It's like one of my soulmate workouts. I actually became an Insanity instructor. I started teaching group fitness from there. It all just snowballed from there. And it really just started with a decision and sticking to something for 30 days and seeing the results, right? Now, I'm not sure how many Whole30s I've done throughout the years. I haven't done one in years. But today, it all boils down to food freedom for me. And I've talked on the show before about abusing Whole30 as another diet instead of just as an experiment. And if you're a former client of mine, you've gone through my program and worked with me one-on-one, you know I'm such a big believer in the reintroduction and the after of your Whole30, because I did treat it as a diet the first time, for sure. I admit that. I've admitted it on the show plenty of times. But I've never wanted a client to get to the end of their Whole30 and treat it just as another 30-day diet, but rather take that data into their food freedom and see it more as a form of self-care. So, throughout this time, I'm starting to teach group fitness. I'm like leading my own little Whole30 groups, because so many people are like, what are you guys doing? Like, you're glowing from the inside out. I'm like, come do the Whole30, come do the Whole30. And the Whole30 made a program to become a coach. So in 2018, I became a Whole30 certified coach. I was already coaching folks. I've been able to coach dozens and dozens of folks at that time. And I created my very, very like OG first course, and I've answered more DMs on my Instagram about ingredients on food labels than I could count. I still get messages to this day. However, the Whole30 decided, this was a year ago, that they were going to dissolve the Whole30 coaching program, which I am okay with, okay? You won't be able to get my course anymore, but I will still consult my existing and future clients that like go through my Healthy Habits Accelerator. Or if you think you need to do the Whole30 as an experiment to evaluate your habits and relationship with food and how certain foods may affect you, I'm here to cheer you on and answer your questions. But I will not work with folks who are chronic Whole30ers who used to get back on track just to lose weight, put it back on, lose weight, put it back on, and go face first and pizza on day 31s, because that's what I did on my very first Whole30. So what do I really think of the Whole30 today? Well, I think there are some flaws, sure, but I also think we're so ingrained in diet culture, a lot of us need to just work on our own food freedom. And if you choose to do a Whole30, I would really stop to ask yourself, why? Is it to lose weight, or is it to gather facts about yourself to take into your food freedom? Now, the Whole30 really did change my life. And I felt amazing. And it really did help me in 5 significant ways that I want to share with you today. And these are some things that I have learned as a coach and as going through the Whole30 myself that I now feel help me with coaching folks in their own version of food freedom today. Number 1 is reading labels, food labels, and understanding all the crap they put in foods and focusing on eating less processed and more whole foods. That is a big thing that the Whole30 taught me. Number 2, I learned about how foods affect me physically and mentally. I know I can eat my mom's mac and cheese at the holidays, but I know I'm going to pay for it having gluten and dairy at the same time by being bloated for quite a few days and maybe even a little acne. My husband learned that legumes gives him eczema on his elbows. Weird, crazy, but we would have never known that. Like, he had eczema like chronically for years, and we were able to figure that out by doing the Whole30 the right way, systematically, with the reintroduction and whatnot. Number 3 was a focus on non-scale victories. It was so empowering to put away my scale for 30 days and feel empowered by my pants feeling less tight, my sleep being better, my skin glowing. I feel so much more energy. And that's one of the habit hacks we have inside of my program now, is a focus on non-scale victories, because diet culture has told us that a number on a scale defines us. Well, guess what? It doesn't. Number 4, finding true food freedom and no longer dieting. Much of what I personally learned, I now apply to my coaching program and my food freedom philosophy, which for me, it means fueling my body and soul, right? That means being able to eat foods that I know are going to help give me energy, help me feel my best, but also go have tacos and margaritas with my girlfriends and not feel any guilt or shame about it or feel like I need to restrict the next day. It really helped me dig deep into food freedom. Food Freedom Forever is still one of my all-time favorite books by Melissa Urban. I highly recommend you read it. And number 5, probably my most favorite takeaway and things that impacted me and doing the Whole30, it brought me and my husband closer together. This was something that we did together. We started doing Spartan races together afterwards. We started moving our bodies together. I just felt so much more closer to him. I started digging deep into personal development, and eventually he started digging deeper into personal development as well. It brought our relationship so much closer together by focusing on our health, and our boys have been able to watch that in action for the past almost 9 years. And I'm so proud of us. Gosh, I'm going to get emotional. I'm so proud of us for doing that together. I'm so proud of how it's brought us closer, and I'm so proud of the example we have set for our boys that prioritizing your health is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. It's not selfish, it's necessary, and now I teach that whole philosophy on training for life inside of my whole accelerator program. So food freedom to me is personal. It's personal to you as well, and I would have honestly never been able to define my own version of food freedom if it wasn't for the Whole30 and learning some data about myself and having some honest moments of myself saying, am I using the Whole30 for the right reasons or not? Now, it's never to say I'll never do a Whole30 again based on my own needs, but for now, I don't foresee myself doing one again in the near future. If you want to do it, I am here and I'm cheering you on if you are doing it for all the right reasons, and that is to evaluate your habits and relationship around food and not to use it as another diet program. So thank you to all of you who have trusted me on your own Whole30 journey. And there are so many great Whole30 experts that have been on past episodes. There's a lot of past Whole30 episodes that I think still apply to this day, and past episodes that I still stand by. I'm wishing you all true food freedom. And thank you again to the Whole30 team, to Melissa Urban, for helping me start this journey and helping me now really focus on habit strategy and atomic habits for women. And it's truly started with how I evaluated my habits and relationship around food. And it's kind of crazy to think of how the show and how myself have evolved over the years. And I'm so proud of the work that I've been able to do. I'm so proud of you and the work that you've been able to do. And I hope, you, like I said, do the Whole30 for the right reasons moving forward. I will no longer be offering coaching, but I am here to support you and answer any questions you have along the way. The Whole30 truly did change my life. That was for that season of my life. And this season of my life, like I said, it's not part of my coaching or my lifestyle now, but truly food freedom is, and that is thanks to my journey that started with the Whole30. I am truly grateful, and thank you again to Melissa Urban and the Whole30 team. Friends, I am cheering you on no matter what, and thank you so much for being here. I'll catch up with you Thursday. Hey girl, real quick before you go, did you know I have a secret podcast where I talk all about why most habit strategies don't work for us women? Spoiler alert, it's not our fault. Visit bit.ly/atomic habits for women. It's linked in the show notes to access my secret podcast series and have your biggest aha moment about why and how women have to do habits differently. And if you love the podcast, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way more mamas can find the show. Love and appreciate you, friend. We'll see you next time.